Hello, this is going to be my first video in a series about companion builds for Pathfinder of the Righteous Unfair Difficulty. All of the builds were used by me on my playthrough on Unfair Difficulty and therefore tested from early to late levels. The builds don't use any bugs or exploits, so they should remain viable despite any changes or bug fixes made to the game. It's also worth mentioning I used as little cheesing as possible, so I didn't run around a pit for beating water elemental, and I just tried to handle most fights going head on and using scrolls and other creative strategies to get me through the harder ones. But with that, let's start with our first build. It's going to be a tank Seelah build. You can see right now she only has a 41 AC at level 20, but by the end of the video we'll be seeing 3 digits AC. With that, let's get to our first level up. Seelah starts as a first level paladin, which is not bad. Later on we are going to use Smite Evil to boost our AC, but for now we are going to take our first level of Sylvan Sorcerer. This will give us an animal companion, which is going to be our main tank until our build gets going. For skill points, we're going to take 3 ranks in mobility to get us a +1 bonus to AC when fighting defensively. You can choose any other stat you want to put the remaining points. I'm going for perception. Sorcerer bonus feat is going to be combat casting. Animal companion Leopard. It has the highest AC at early levels, and the spells is going to be Shield and True Strike. As we have Shield as a spell, we are going to equip a two-handed weapon and use True Strike to be able to hit some enemies and contribute to party damage. Only at 7th level, when we get Crane Wing, we are going to drop our two-handed weapon for a one-handed Kama. For 3rd level, we are going to take 1 level of Witch, Stigmatized Witch, as this subclass is a Charisma caster and Charisma is our highest mental score. But it really shouldn't matter, we are doing this not for spells, only for Familiar and Hex. Skills, again we need Mobility rank 3. I'm bumping up Knowledge Word and Perception. As a feat we take Boon Companion, so our Leopard doesn't lose levels while we multiclass. Familiar is gonna be Lizard Familiar for +1 stackable natural armor bonus and +2 bonus to Perception. X is Ice Plant, again a +2 stackable natural armor bonus. Later on in the game we'll find a ring that gives us an extra +2 stackable natural armor bonus if we have the Ice Plant Hex. So this 1 level dip in which is gonna add up to a total of 5 AC later on in the game. Oracle's Curse doesn't really matter, I took Demonic as it has a very minor penalty. And spells also don't really matter, we are going to be using mostly our Sorcerer spell list, but you can take Mage Armor, maybe you will use it a few times. As our 4th level, you're gonna take our last multi-class. It's gonna be a Scaled Fist Monk. This subclass gives us Charisma bonus to AC as long as we are not wearing any armor or shield. For now, we are still gonna keep our armor and shield until we get to about level 6 or 7. Your ability point is gonna be in Charisma. Charisma is gonna be both your caster score for sorcerer spells as well as a bonus to AC since we took a level in Monk Scaled Fist. Skill points don't really matter. For our bonus feat, we're going to take Crane Style. This raises our AC by 1 when fighting defensively. Levels 5 to 20 are gonna be all Sylvan Sorcerers. There's nothing much to talk about here. Our 5th level feat is gonna be Blind Fight to make us immune to gaze attacks. And I'll meet you back on our first Mythic rank. And again on level 20 to do a quick rundown of important feats you need to get and the most important spells to add to your spell list. At 6th level, you are going to unlock your first Mythic rank, and this is big for any tank build, as we have less 10 as a Mythic ability. It allows you to, once per day, survive for 2 rounds even after you get to 0 HP. And this is going to finally allow us to tank effectively. Albeit only once per day, it's still a very strong ability. So we take this as our first Mythic level. For our second Mythic level, we're going to take the extra Mythic ability and we're going to pick Archmage Armor. By this point, you should have both Mage Armor and Reduce Person as first level sorcerer spells, and our playstyle is gonna change a bit. Now we are no longer going to use a two-handed weapon, we are going to switch for a one-handed weapon, we are going to drop our shield and our armor. Now we are going to rely on Charisma and Dexterity buffs from Cat's Grace and Eagle's Splendor to boost our AC, along with Mage Armor boosted by Archmage Armor. And at 7th level, you're going to be able to pick, at 9th level actually, we're going to get Crane Wing, which allows us to get a +4 dodge bonus to AC against melee attacks as long as we are fighting defensively. At Mythic rank 3, we're going to choose Abundant Smite as our Mythic ability. Abundant Smite is gonna allow us to use Smite more times per day, so we can use it as a tool to raise our AC in more difficult fights. We also should, by this point, be close to finding an item which makes the AC bonus from Smite Evil divine instead of deflection, meaning this is not gonna overlap with Shield of Faith or protection from alignment. It's gonna be a flat increase to our total AC, as there are no other divine bonus to AC as far as I know. So now we have our fully leveled Seelah build. I'm gonna do a quick recap of the feats and spells I took. For level 7 we take Improved Initiative. This is going to help us not get flat-footed too often. Flat-footed AC is much lower than our regular AC, so Improved Initiative is gonna help us act first and not get flat-footed too often. At level 9 we take Crane Wing. This is a +4 dodge bonus to AC, pretty useful for us. Level 11, Deflect Arrows, a bit of range defense. Level 13, Outflank. This is the best teamwork feat in my opinion for any difficulty. At level 15 you should have a +4 in Titan, and we are going to need that to level and take Combat Expertise as a feat. Combat Expertise also comes in the same level we get Transformation as a spell choice. Combining both of those, we get a +4 bonus to our AC on level 15, a +5 on level 16, and a +6 on level 20. Level 17, we take Fighting Reflexes and 19 Toughness. Those last two aren't really that useful, you can change them for anything you want, and if you are playing on a lower difficulty, you could take Weapon Focus at level 5, Dazzling Display at 17 and Shatter Defenses at 19. This way you'll still be able to get some hits in if you are playing on hard or lower. For our Mythic paths, we stopped at level 3, so at level 4 we took Dodge Mythic, level 5 Enduring Spells, 6 Greater Enduring Spells, 7th Mythic Beast, 8 Fighting Reflexes Mythic. That's not really that useful. I would recommend you actually take extra Mythic ability, followed by Rupture Restraint. 9th level, I took Mastership Shifter, and I took Mastership Shifter only because I have a Brown Fur Transmuter in my party. If you don't have a Brown Fur Transmuter, I would recommend you take either Rupture Restraints or Unstoppable instead of Mastership Shifter. And at 10th level, Improved Initiative Mythic. Again, it helps us not get flat-footed too often. For our spells, we are going to go in order of priority from 1st to 8th level. 1st level, as I already said, we start with Shield and True Strike. Later we take Reduce Person, and last, Mage Armor. Level 2, Mirror Image and Blur are top priority. Cat Grace and Eagle's Splendor are easily found on potions or scrolls, and you can even get another party member to cast them on yourself, whereas Mirror Image has a target of personal, so no one will be able to cast Mirror Image for you. Level 3, most important spell is Blink, and you should always save slots so you have Blink for harder fights. Displacement and Haste are also very good spells, and if you have spare slots, you can cast them. 4th level, we take Greater Invisibility and Fear. Nothing else too useful besides those two. Level 5, Elemental Body 2 can boost our AC if we take either Fire or Air Elemental. Level 6, we take Transformation. Trucing and Heroism can be useful buffing spells for your party, but Transformation is our top priority as it gives both a +4 to natural armor and also an increase in BAB, which combos well with Combat Expertise, which we take at the same level. 7th level spells, there's nothing worth mentioning here. I guess Legendary Proportions is decent, but there aren't that many dinosaur bones in the game, so use it carefully. At 8th level, we take Cemental. Cemental is a +8 bonus to AC, so this is our top priority. Here I took Angelic Aspect. It gives a +4 deflection bonus to AC. As I'm showcasing this build as a standalone, I'm not gonna have anyone to cast Shield of Faith on myself, but at this level, someone with Shield of Faith should give you a +5 deflection bonus to AC, and that's already better than Angelic Aspect. I guess there's DR10 Evil, but yeah, that's nothing too useful. The deflection bonus to AC is the main draw here, and Shield of Faith at this level is already better and is a 1st level spell, so Cemental is the only one worth mentioning here. Now let's talk about which items can you expect to get to boost your AC. A Charisma Headband helps because we have a level in Scaled Fist Monk, which means our charisma adds to our AC. And it's very important you remember to equip a +4 or more in Headband starting at level 15, as we need that to activate Combat Expertise. For rings, we have Ice Protector, which gives us a +2 bonus to natural armor if we have the Ice Plant Hex, which we do. Other ring is a +1 dodge bonus to AC. Also a common ring slot is the bonus to deflection, but I'd rather just use Angelic Aspect or have someone cast Shield of Faith. For weapon, we have Monastic Kema. This gives us a +2 dodge bonus to AC, and earlier on in the game you can find a +1 dodge bonus to AC version. For our necklace, we have a +5 bonus to natural armor. If you have someone that can cast Bark Skin on your party, I'd actually use instead a half of a pair, giving you a +2 circumstance bonus, since Bark Skin already gives us a +5 natural armor. For our robes, we have a +5 dodge bonus from Protector robes, which is only for lawful good monks, and we are a lawful good Scaled Fist monk. You can find +1 and +3 versions earlier on as well. Here we have another +1 dodge bonus to AC, also can only be worn for a monk. For our belt we have a +6 to dexterity, which ends up as a +3 to our AC, and for boots we have a +1 dodge bonus to AC against demons. Since we are mostly fighting demons, this is basically always a +1 dodge bonus to AC. And Aroden's Wrath. This is the item that makes your smite give sacred bonus instead of deflection bonus to your AC, making it stack with your other buffs instead of overlap with either Angelic Aspect or Shield of Faith. Currently we are at 41 AC, but let's take a look at how much we can get after some buffing and going into combat. So for buffs we start with Shield, Mage Armor, Reduce Person. Let's not forget to toggle our Lizard Familiar, as it gives us a +1 to AC. Haste also gives us a +1 to AC. Elemental, Angelic Aspect, and always cast Transformation as your last spells, as Transformation makes you unable to cast any other spells. Now let's take a look, and we are at 66. I think we should be at 70, but for some reason deflection bonus from Angelic Aspect is still not triggering. I think that it is an aura, so it will only trigger once we are in combat. Now I'm going to spawn a Baylor, and let's see how our AC looks once we are in combat. Let's start by casting Smite. And let's trigger some attacks of opportunity. Come on. Can attack us, Baylor? And there you go. He tried to hit us. And there we go. 3 digits AC. We got to 101. After we enter combat and trigger Cemental, combat expertise, fighting defensively, crane style, crane wing, and all those other buffs that only show up after we are in combat. It's not hard to get this AC a bit higher. You can, for example, cast Shield of Faith, so you get, instead of the +4 from Angelic Aura, a +5 deflection bonus. You could also have someone cast Barkskin to give you a +5 natural armor, and instead of the Amulet of Natural Armor, you can equip half of a pair for an extra +2 circumstance bonus to AC. You could equip a +8 Headband to Charisma, giving you a +1 Charisma bonus to AC, and a +1 bonus after you cast Smite Evil. If you have a Brownford Transmuter, you can also have the Brownford Transmuter cast Elemental Body Fire on Seelah for an extra +5 if I'm not mistaken. So at the end of the day, with some help from party members, we can easily get much closer to 110 AC. This concludes our Seelah build video. For next video, I'm showcasing my Unfair Camellia build. If you try this build out, let me know how it went in the comments and at which level you used my build. If you have any suggestions or improvements I could make, I'd love to hear them as well. But until next video, I hope you have a good time. See you then.